beautiful, special day for Winston Duncan here. The launch of, what's the launch? Why are we here? The launch of? Shoes? Yes, what's the book called? Is it something about, do you need some money? I need some? The Inner City Guide. The Inner City Guide to, come on, we're here to buy it. Yeah, we're all saving some money, saving some dough. And then Inner City Guide to surviving the credit crunch. Have you all seen the news recently? We heard about this double dip recession thing that's going to be, it's coming, believe it's coming. Real quick, just to quickly do some housekeeping. There's no scheduled fire alarm scheduled for today. The toilets are just out here. The gentlemen's toilets are here, the ladies' toilets are over there. And if we can just put our phones on silent, so that we can, make sure we hear it. I'm your host for today. My name is Jacy Stewart. I'm a business speaker and a business trainer, and I do a little bit of business advice as well. And I'm privileged really to be here today to host this launch. It's not one of the first books, and it's not going to be definitely one of the last. It's the second of many more. And just to give you a real sort of big background, I'm coming from the performing arts background, and got into business advice and giving out business advice from a lady who's not quite here yet. Her name's Wanda, she's a poet. She approached me to ask me, to help set up a business, and I was kind of blown away by that. But since then, I kind of went out, helped people develop, set up their own businesses. And what she also introduced me to was the world of spoken word. Has anyone been to a spoken word event? Or a poetry event? They're absolutely amazing, honestly. And when she introduced me to that, I was really privileged to come across people like Loretta Love, come across people like Emmanuel. When you hear some of these artists on stage and anything like that, the power that they give and that they do was amazing. Now, I've been approached by one to kind of set up and help set up a business. And as I was going along to a lot of these poetry events, I started to see all these different artists and wondered to myself, you know what, funny enough, that's how I heard them along the lines. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what, these artists are amazing, but I can see the business side behind them. And I could see where there was funding available to help them promote their products and promote their CDs or promote their books and that kind of thing. So I really delved in to finding out about sort of protecting artists as well. So I did a lot of sort of copyright laws and understanding. Does anyone ever come across this? Anyone know any singers or anything like that? No? Okay. If there's a singer, do you know any singers? And back in the day, they used to have these contracts. And if you could read head nor tail of these contracts, good luck to you, because seriously, they were really weighty. And so it was a case of really wanting to find out the whole business side of it, so that I could, hopefully be the one out there to help protect a lot of these artists. So that's basically how my career started as a business advisor. Anyone heard of Business Link? Business Link in London? Okay. Used to work for Business Link in London as a business advisor. And that subsequently is now being closed down. It's going to be closed down in November. There's no longer any more sort of business advice. There is business advice still, but it'll be on the website. So I went through, and I've gone through a period of redundancy. Does anyone know anybody who's gone through redundancy? It's huge. And one of the weird things about it, I got made redundant in May. Now, I'm a business advisor, so it'd be crazy of me not to set up a business. I mean, I'm there going out advising people on their business, and I'm actually running my own business myself, but that's actually what I went to do. So got made redundant on the 24th of May. On the 25th of May, I had a contract, and I was already up and running. But one of the things that a lot of the business advisors found, because they're sort of a lot older to a degree, and so in terms of them getting made redundant, it was really scary for them, because it meant that they had to reskill. And even now, I'm still sort of in contact with them. There's still not a lot of work out there. Why? Unemployment has risen hugely in just the last 2 months. I can't remember the figures, but it's significantly the amount. And in terms of the youth unemployment as well, that's rising. And when you talk about redundancy, you've got about 2 months, 2 to 3 months, where you're still getting paid and all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of sit back for a little while. But a lot of redundancies happen. It's not just business link, a lot of the quangos. So a lot of the sort of government organisations that were around sort of during the Labour's time in power, they actually closed those down. So we've got a lot of those redundancies coming, and it's now that it's beginning to hit. And when now that it's beginning to hit. It's okay that you're being made redundant and all that kind of stuff, and you can sit around for a little while. Is anyone looking for a job at the moment, or anybody looking for a job at the moment? Go to Reed website. On Reed's website, if you go look for a job like an administrator, for example, you'll see that there's about 90 to sometimes 100 people that are applying for exactly the same position. It's that bad. Okay? So if you're just looking at Reed, just take Reed as an example, just to see what kind of unemployment levels that are out there, you're going to start to see, as we said before just a minute ago, that double dip, that recession is coming. So when Winsome coming with this book right about now is impeccable timing, seriously, because people are really having to cut back. And as we can see as well within the supermarkets, how much is your supermarket shopping bills? Is it averaging? Is it coming up a little bit? Right? And in this time right about now, I mean, when I was working, I was a Sainsbury's girl. I was rich. Yeah, it's the Sainsbury's. Now it's not about Sainsbury's anymore. It's about. Now look in my book. You'll see 3 big Lidl shopping bags. Lidl's my friend. I'm telling you, it is my sincere friend. But the beauty of this book, we've got tips in here. I think so. Yeah. So there's more tips in here. I'd like to now just kind of move over to the book. It's published by the Healing Factory. It's got over 100 suggestions on how to save money or make your money stretch a lot further during these financial and spiritual times. The author has got over 20 years experience of writing. She's written songs, there's a feature film out, Moral Conflict, which the author has written one that's a theme soon, or the Inside Out theme song. Yeah, exactly. You can YouTube it, and it's just moral conflict. I think your song playing on that. Yeah, there you go. And Nice Guys, the other one, recorded in Tough Gun Studios. Anyone know Tough Gun? Tough Gun, should I say? Yeah. Yeah, Bob Marley in Jamaica. Anyone know or heard of Lyrical Healer? AKA Lyrical Healer. Another name that the author goes by. She's a poet, she's a singer, she's a journalist, she's a radio presenter, she's a workshop trainer, she's a facilitator, she's a speaker, she's amazing, she's dynamic. And she's done a whole lot, performed at various venues, the Jazz Cafe, the Houses of Parliament. I could go on, I really could go on. We're in the midst of one of the most talented performers, ingenious in business as well, and it's testament to see right here. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your hands together please for Winsome Dunstan.